Fox got a panel full of real estate agents and a loan officer. We've got Ben Eicher. He's the new guy. We got Matt Buckley, and we've got Ty Fan, who's the old guy. He's been here forever. He just never left. Last week, we closed up shop. He's still sitting here. He just turned on the light. There he is.
Yeah, you got to refill the fridge.
Yeah, we got Andy Hall. He's the loan officer representing Oceans Lending. Is that right? Oceans Lending,
That's correct, Ocean. Lake Mary, Florida, but we can license anywhere in the state, and if you're in different states, we're licensed there too.
Perfect. Very perfect. Okay, so we were going to talk about a situation that Ty's got going on. Little rental home buyer, home seller, sitchy.
Yeah, no. So this is Ty Fan over at TySalesFlorida.com. And I was just pretty much just talking about a general discussion. We always get this question asked all the time. I'm pretty sure Matt Buckley can chime in on this one too. It's like, people that live in apartments, should they consider buying a home, right? And I think the answer is always yes. I mean, because we have people that have been in the apartment life for so long, where they started as couples and they got married, fast forward a couple of years, and they have kids. They just want to get out of that apartment life. They want to stop sharing walls with their neighbors, the common areas, more sense of privacy. So if you're in a situation where you can get approved for a mortgage or a loan, why not go ahead and seek that journey out? Because at least the amount of money you're paying for rent. And I think right now we're looking at, gosh, what is the amount? Like $1,700 for a one-bedroom apartment.
It's about
I think the average
225
in Orlando is
for
like
a square.
$19.50.
This is $19.50.
$225 a square foot for a rental,
Yeah.
pretty much on
So
average.
it's jumped up pretty quite a bit. So I mean, if you think about that in terms of a mortgage payment, that's $19.25, $19.50 that you're never going to see back.
Right, every month.
At least, you know, even with a high interest rate, at least you're going to portion that back. Obviously, the first 15 years in a note, that's mostly towards interest, but you get a portion of it back. So that's like a 401k investment. So absolutely, my always number one advice is, if you're in an apartment life and you're getting sick and tired of it, give me a call, 407-734-1103.
Now, property taxes went up, Matt.
They did.
And that hurt us.
You know, we'll see next year when
When it comes
prices
around.
are assessed. Yeah. But I completely agree with Ty. Whether it's an apartment or whether it's a rental in general, you know, you're paying off Joe Blow's house. You're not paying off yours or your future. And in a traditional market, rental rates are higher than a mortgage rate. Mm-hmm. So you can save money and own a home at the same time. And how I break it down to my, you know, people coming from a rental is, by the time you pay a first, a last, a security, and a pet deposit, that is essentially a down payment on a home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like you're basically putting a down payment for a rental. You're at $1,900 a month. It's almost $25,000 a year that you're just, you know, flushing down the drain.
Plus, if you go with a property management company, you're paying that pet fee every month.
Oh yeah,
and other fees. They've trumped up to the point where it started at $2,000 and now it's $2,500 a month. So, and you're right. You're just throwing it in the wind. Certainly, it's cover for a month, but there's nothing to show for it. You know, and my landscaping's taken care of, but I got some guy pounding on the other side of the wall, you know, with his drum kit in the middle of the afternoon, and I can't work.
And that's the crazy thing. It's like, if you work with a realtor like Matt, myself, and Ben over here, they can give you a guesstimate of what your electricity bill looks like, and you're just getting what your recurring fees that you're going to get when you own a home. So as long as you have a nice realtor that knows those things and can help you set up what's to be expected when you own a property, that's fine. Education's key here. That's what it is.
It is education. Ben, are you learning?
Absolutely.
Fair. What have you learned today? Anything good?
Yeah, I've learned a lot about current market conditions, you know, talking to current renters, things of that nature. So yeah, it's been great so far.
Cool. Do you notice how it goes really bright red whenever I talk about it? It's really cool. You do that in front of your customers too? Hi. Woof. It's okay. He's just flushy. It's Ben Eicher. And how do we get a hold of you, Ben?
My number is 614-563-2908.
Nice. Did you ever play basketball?
A little bit.
Okay, they waist to height.
He's a college golfer.
Waist. Oh, okay, well that's good. But a waist to height. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
It's the tallest guys you ask them. No. I'm like, why? They give you all that height. I'm 5'4". I'm reaching. I'm trying. But Ben, it's good to have you along. I'm glad you moved over from insurance and from managing a gym or whatever it was that he was saying you were doing, and now you've joined LPT Realty. And did they put your face all over the gym yet, or all over the auditorium? Because they do that too. The magic. Amway Center. It's like, oh my goodness, look at me. I'm here and I'm on the screen.
We're waiting on his billboard.
Yeah, that's coming.
Yep.
It is. And that's just some of the tools that LPT puts together for you. The marketing alone. Now, I have a friend who has had a house, believe it or not. You guys obviously haven't gotten there because you would be like, I'm going to sell this house for you. I think he has it overpriced. But he's had it on the market for quite some time. Unlike most houses that get snatched up within, a couple of days lately.
Yeah.
This house needs a lot of work. It's a 4.2. It's in Altamont. But he's got it priced at like $440,000. It's not been worked on in probably the 30 some years that it's been standing.
Yeah.
And so I'll just say Spark Maine is the guy who's doing the yeah.
I know that guy.
Who's that? Never mind.
Talked to him last week.
Right, but he's pretty much ended up buying the house because he can't sell it for the price. What would you do if I were the homeowner and I'm putting it at a ridiculous price? You walk around, you're like, oh my God, this needs so much work. This person is so outpriced. It's not going to happen. How do you talk to that person? Talk them down.
Yeah, Matt Buckley with the Buckley team. There are a lot of things you can do in that situation. Price decreases. The buyer looks at it like, oh, this guy's cutting his price for a reason, or he's getting desperate. I like to price a home fairly, draw a bunch of attention. That'll lead to getting multiple offers, which will lead to top dollar. With it already being listed overpriced, a couple things you can do. Call an LPT agent, get it marketed.
Yeah.
Open houses, stuff like that. But also, if you like the contractors that I work with, they will go in the house, paint, remodel, do whatever you have to do, and they will bill it at closing. So if we had to do some remodeling or some paint or some, love, we can do that now, and then you pay us at closing. So that way we can get it spunked up, maybe redo some pictures, redo the description, offer an incentive to a buyer agent. There's a lot of different things you can do.
That's a pool home too.
Oh, man.
I know. It's just sitting there. But the thing is, it's like I said, you got your overpriced. You got another agency that came in and went, yeah, we'll do that. Not a problem. And yet it's sitting there, and it may have been almost a year.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
tough.
tough. Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's tough.
Yeah. So as we talk about
We're talking
inventory,
30 days.
Yeah, as we're talking inventory only reaching about 24 days worth right now in
Yeah,
Central
we're less
Florida.
than a month right now.
Less than a month.
Right. And this guy who bought the home, I think for $400,000, and he's just trying to make some money on it, hasn't done a thing to it except put some new carpeting in, which again, we've talked about. That's not always the smartest thing as a seller to pick out new carpeting. If, when you take a little bit down here or there on the price and say, decision making when it comes to the carpets. And
Offer a home warranty. Because typically when somebody moves in the house, they're going to change it and do what they want to the house anyway.
Right.
So you're kind of wasting money on that side than letting it sit on the market, which is even more money. So.
Which that's what I was thinking. I'm
Like a
you should
lose-lose.
just pull it back off, do a little work or something, or wait it out or reprice it.
Yeah, I mean, this is Ty over here at TySalesFlorida.com, and I'm just going to jump on what Matt Buckley said. I mean, you definitely have to price your home within the first 7 days. I mean, that's what it is. You have to get get with the realtor and have complete transparency, because that's what we're doing. We're building a relationship with you. We know the market, so we're going to tell you what needs to be done. And if you overprice your house, just for your example, Melissa is going to be stuck on the market. So you definitely have to be competitive, definitely for sure, to attract all the offers. But if you're selfish, you're going to be on the market for a while.
Yeah, and I think the pool probably needs some work, maybe even need resurfacing. I mean, there's some major repairs that need done. For throwing a 4.2 out there and saying, well, the market's gonna make it happen. 440.
Like, hey, any investors out there listening, give me a call. We'll beat this guy up and go get the house.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I was going to I was like, hey, where's the address?
Sounds like a lowball offer.
Going to go over there and take care of this. But this guy's been sitting on it. He really thinks he's going to get 440. And, like I said, he's got it listed as that. And, yeah, so it's not going to happen.
No.
So, again, you would recommend talking to him, say, look, we need to take it down a notch or make some compensations, give things back to the buyer, or
Even
take
the
it
agent.
off the market.
You give something to an agent, they'll start pushing it to their buyers.
Yeah.
They'll start, putting it in front of them and stuff like that. And then once the buyer comes along, we'll find a solution on how to get this done.
So do we get it appraised? If it was me, again, I posted it was my house. Would you say, you might want to get, a home inspection, an appraisal, find out where it's really worth, what needs fixed, where the repairs, that kind of thing. Would you want me to come out of pocket $300 or $500 for
Yeah,
that?
Matt Buckley with the Buckley team. Home inspection, not a bad idea. That gives us, a general realm of maybe things we need to expect.
Mm-hmm.
With an appraisal, those are $500-600.
Yeah.
I would save your money, rely on a good agent to do a good in-depth CMA. And I mean, for my last 7 listings, I've been 100% spot on with appraisals. So
Dang, didn't want to throw that out there, but I
He said
did.
100%.
Yeah.
With confidence, too,
Yeah, man.
Matt Buckley over here.
100%.
You heard that, Orlando. Mark him down.
Right? Did you hear that, Andy Hall?
I heard
100%. Did you close on those things? Do all that loan stuff with him?
Most of them.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Andy and I do a lot of business together.
Fantastic.
He's my go-to.
All right, Ben, you learning something over there? You think this? You might want to hang out with Matt.
Oh,
a
wait,
little
he got
bit
red. He got red.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I told you. Every time I talk to him, it just flushes. It's
In his
'cause-
defense, they kind of throw him in here. So
It's okay. That's what radio's all about. Flying by the seat, I think. No, not really. All right. Anyway, hey, Ben, how do we get a hold of you?
My number is 614-563-2908.
Call Ben.
he got that down.
Get it done.
He's figured out a name. Anyway, hey, we're taking it easy here. It's Real Estate All Stars Radio, powered by in the mix too. Ty just said we need to bring him in. Ty fans with us. We've got Matt Buckley. We have Andy Hall, and who's the new guy?
My name is Ben Eicher. I'm with the Buckley team.
Buckley. Oh wow, a new guy.
Yeah.
For real new dude.
Real.
So, hey, what brought you in?
Really, just with LPT, one of the things that caught my eyes right off the bat is top tier leadership. After speaking with Matt, he really knows the ins and outs of everything that's going on, and how to provide you with the tools that you need to succeed. Not only that, but the tools that LPT provides you themselves are fantastic. The marketing material, second to none. The Power Pack. I don't know if anybody's ever seen one. It looks unreal. Absolutely
Magical
unreal.
white box.
Explain the white box. What? Explain the Power Pack. What did you get? What's in there? Goodies, candy canes, what?
Yeah, so the Power Pack
Glitter.
entails a lot of goodies, and they're specific to properties. So they'll show business cards. They obviously have your pictures, property pictures. They have details of the area, too, which is something that I really liked, where it tells you how far the nearest gas station is, where the closest grocery store is, all that kind of stuff. So it provides a lot of really good details that are really helpful for somebody that's even looking at, going into the home just in an open house so they can see, what's going on in the area, all that kind of stuff.
Now, you look like you're fresh out of high school. So I'm just going to assume that real estate was the first choice, right? And you said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell houses, right? Now, I know it's probably a couple more years than high school, but not maybe 4.
He comes from the insurance sales, actually.
Oh, you went from... I'm sorry. Yeah. How
from
was it
insurance to
working in
properties.
insurance?
Good.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
You could, but it's okay. I'm not going to let you. But so now you're in realty, and how long did it take you to get your license and get situated there?
All in all, everything took about 3 to 4 months, but now you got the ball rolling. Everything has really started to take off about a week ago. So yeah, everything's been great so far.
Showing properties, got some buyers lined up, some sellers that are ready to work with you.
Yep, absolutely.
Wow, and the power tools, the listing power tools that came along with it are definitely helping this guy right here. So Matt, you saw him and you said, this guy, I need him.
Yeah, he was in my community gym, in the gym that I attend. He was the general manager of the gym.
Oh.
And he had just this persona to him. He had a good vibe, as some people say. You can't miss him. He's 6'8", so I
he's pretty
couldn't
tall.
miss the guy.
Yeah.
So we became mutual friends on social media here and there, high and by. And then he started following along, the team's journey and my real estate journey. And he comes from a sales background, so him and I, sat down, got together. I was like, dude, you'll be a great fit for this. Come check it out. He fell in love with LPT. He's picking it up like, it was meant for him.
Perfect.
And
Well,
he
welcome.
actually just got his first buyer in a
What?
buyer portal
Hey,
yesterday.
there we go. Congratulations.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, let me know if you need a pre-approval.
Right? That's
I
Andy.
got you.
That's Andy Hall talking about Oceans lending and getting that all together there, which is great. I love how it works out. Hey, here's my card. But Ty, well, you were the one that brought the new guy into the mix here, and you've actually done 3 of these radio shows already.
We've been 3. I feel
has
like it's been more. Oh my
Only
goodness.
been 3? It's been 3.
Okay, gotcha.
Really, you're like a return abuse repeat offender kind of guy.
In a good way.
In a good way.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
yes,
Let's
yes.
just be clear about that.
No, for the most part. But what's your favorite type of buyer?
Any buyer really. The thing about real estate is that, and especially if you work with a great partnerships, you have your resources, whether it be a lender or things like that. Any buyer is great as long as that they're willing to put into work. Because as of right now, some buyers may not be able to get pre-qualified or pre-approved, things like that. But if they're willing to put the work to get their financial situation ready and things like that, we can work with any type of buyer. So I am okay with any buyers or any sellers.
Any buyers, as long as they have money, right, man? Is that what you were saying over there?
The consumer and the listeners probably like, oh, these guys are thinking cash buyers only.
No.
But
No.
that's not the case. For me personally, I like making a dream a reality. Someone who never thought they would buy a home, that closing table and that closing picture means more to me than a guy buying $500,000 cash in 2 weeks.
All right.
But, creating, as I said, the dream to a reality, the guy who never thought he could buy a home, breaking down the process. Buying a home is not that hard when you have a professional
We have someone that knows
on
what
the
they're
lending
doing.
side and the realtor side, the title side. But I always say teamwork makes the dream work. I like to, be known as the closing cost king.
Oh.
So I tell your typical guy, hey, if you got $5,000-$10,000 saved, a decent credit score, and a will to buy, we will get you in a home.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
And how do people get a hold of you?
407-617-0438, or like I said, visit the team site betterwithbuckley.com. Matt Buckley.
Very nice, Matt Buckley. So, Matt, then you do actually not necessarily seek out the first-time home buyer, but you're willing to work with that. And if anything, you want to see that dream achieved.
Yeah, I like to. First-time home buyers are my favorite. They actually are. Like I said, especially the younger couple or the single guy or something like that. Just the first time, they have no experiences. They have no bad habits. So if you can lead them from the gates, show them how it's done, put them in contact with the right professional to make it a seamless transaction, that's only going to lead to a better review and a better experience on their behalf, which is going to give me longevity in my career.
I like it. It sounds good to me. Does that sound like why you got on board, Andy, with this man?
I agree. As far as on my side, what I like to see on like what people are trying to buy, if somebody can if they can be organized, unlike that first intro I just did. If they could, when in doubt, self-deprecating humor, right? But
Yes.
when in doubt, like on my side, just be as honest as possible. Tell me everything that's happened. What are you looking to do? I'll let you know where we can stretch, which home's possibly going to work for you. But also, if you have a gap in employment, just be upfront, because once we go through underwriting, we're going to know about that. They're going to find it.
Yeah.
If you had a bankruptcy 6 years ago and it doesn't pull up on your credit report, let me know. So that way we can figure this stuff out ahead of time. But on my side, like, we'll get you closed as quick as you want to. 30 days, 20. We actually just closed one the other day in like 18 days.
Yeah.
But
wow.
So the appraisals are coming in quick now. The paperwork's done, so I can move as fast as the clients. So if I give you a list of documentation, get it back to me quick. Like pay stubs, self-employment history, anything like that. Get that back to me quick, and we can get moving. But to circle back to what Matt was saying, as being like the closing cost king. One of my favorite things with him is that even in this market, he still figures out a lot of times how to get things covered, whether it's upfront and asking for it, or if it's as he goes through the process, getting some sort of a seller credit. There's a way that we'll figure out how to get the cost to where you need it to be to make
We'll get it done.
We'll figure out a way to make it work. Every person that comes to us is more like a puzzle, and you got to kind of figure out the right way to make it work on the lending side, but also on Matt's side, finding the right home for them to fall in love with, and then just watching that blossom. And then on my side, I always get to talk to them on the phone or via email, because I'm not going to the showings with them.
Right.
So, but at least I can hear the happiness and gratitude through their voice, and you can hear how happy they are, and they send you referrals, and it's an amazing experience. And those are the people you always keep in touch with, because I was sending Christmas cards out as well, because to me, these people trusted myself, Matt, Ben, Ty. They trusted all of us with the biggest purchase in their life, and they become family members.
I love it. You're listening to Real Estate All Stars Radio. What are some of the issues that are affecting the real estate industry right now?
So this is Ty Fan over here at TySalesFloor.com, and right now, I mean, it's kind of putting a slight damper in the buying power, but it's really the raise of interest rates right now. That's what's really killing my buyers right now. I mean, people that were last year approved for $500,000 are now going to get approved for $450,000 depending on the rates that they get approved for. So, obviously, for me, one of my clients who has been in a home before is looking for their dream home. So they're being super, super picky, and as they should. They're spending a lot of money, so they should definitely be picky. But they can't get the home they want because they can't get approved for the amount they did last year, and they don't have the cash to make the difference.
Wow. Okay, so there's definitely a lot of funding situations going on.
I mean, there is, but that's why you also work for the preferred lender. Preferred lender, they can probably do something in the back end with no ways around it, but without breaking any laws, obviously. But
there's that. Yeah, there's
But,
wink,
I mean,
wink.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, but that's why you always have these preferred lenders to go to. But that's what I'm looking at right now.
Right.
I completely agree with Ty, and the rates are putting a damper. They're cutting the demand for an appraisal. That guy who couldn't get an offer accepted is now jumping back in the market because he'll take the 5.5%, 6%, whatever the case may be. But now he has a shot at buying. So I'm seeing the guys who are on the sidelines are coming back into the game to buy.
Now,
Andy, what do you think?
Yeah, Andy, you seeing that too?
I am. So I know on my side, being on the lending side, you always want the lowest rate possible. But I feel as far as individuals that are trying to purchase, I feel like the higher interest rates are actually helping them land deals. Because before, a few months ago, whenever somebody put an offer in, you're going against all cash offers from people that are working remote, that are still getting their New York and California salary, and they're coming down here paying $50,000 cash over asking price. And now those people, and I still work with a lot of those people that as long as they need a mortgage, of course, but I don't hear from them nearly as much moving down here as they were. So now when clients are going in and putting in offers, you're not competing against 20 people. Now you're competing against 5. So the people that have done their due diligence and want this, if they can put in the work and have the means, then at that point they can get the home now, where a few months ago when we were like 2.5%, 3%, 30-year rates, they weren't getting them before, but now you can actually get a home.
Wow. And again, Andy Hall, loan officer for Oceans Lending. How do we get a hold of you?
Sure. 407-605-0327.
You are listening to LPT Realty. We'll be right back. LPT Realty. And we've got LPT Realty guys and gals and all of us, all these real estate agents flopping around here, helping you out, learning things about this market. And it is not an easy market here in Central Florida by any stretch of the imagination. What do you do when these conditions are not ideal for the buyer or the seller? Anyone?
Yeah, Matt Buckley with the Buckley team. I'm working with a first-time home buyer right now. They always love money.
Sure.
There's also other terms that come with an offer. Inspection periods, loan acceptance dates, closing dates, if they need a post-occupancy or stuff like that. So we just ran into the seller needed 14 days after closing to stay in the home because they're closing on another home. And they wanted a smaller inspection, and instead of a 30-day loan approval, they wanted a 20-day loan approval. So that's when, you work with a preferred lender like, Mr. Hall here today. I can reach out to Andy and say, hey, can you get this done or approved in 20 days? He said yes. So we did the 20-day loan approval. That shows strength in my buyer. We cut the inspection down from 15 days to 7, and then we gave the seller a 14-day post-occupancy. So even these offers that were 10, 20 grand above asking, but they were saying, hey, you got to get it on the closing date, that didn't fit the seller's need. So we gave him a 14-day post-occupancy, and we ended up getting the offer.
And they call these contingencies, right?
Yep.
Okay. And usually we kind of whittle down at some of them to make it fit perfectly for the situation for the buyer and the seller, or is it usually one-sided? Like this time it was the seller?
Yeah, case by case, especially on your buyer profile. They're a little bit more on the buyer side, the contingencies. I never recommend waiving an inspection contingency.
Oh, no.
Again, you are free to do whatever you would like, but I do not recommend it. And then I have a lot of people waiving appraisals right now. So,
Really?
If you are fit for that and you have the finances, you have that profile, hey, let's do it. But
what are the hazards of waiving an appraisal?
if the house is $350,000 and you offer $375,000 and waive an appraisal, you're essentially buying above market. If the market doesn't continue to grow, you overbought, and if anything were to happen in the market, your price is up here and the market's down here. I don't find it to be a financially,
it doesn't sound like a smart
decision.
move.
Yeah.
Andy Hall, Oceans Lending. Some of the other things that if the appraisal comes in way under what the asking price is, there's a potential that if they don't have the reserves or capital, all of a sudden the deal's done because on the lending side, if they're a first-time home buyer conventional, they're putting a 3% down payment down. If they have to come up with $15,000 or $20,000 extra, they also have to do that plus that 3% of what the value of the home is, because you can borrow based off of the selling price of the home, or the appraisal, whichever is lower. So if you have to hit that percent mark, it's still going to be the lower value. You have to do the 3 or 5% or whatever it is, plus the appraisal gap to keep.
We just had an appraisal, Matt Buckley, the Buckley team. We just had an appraisal come in $61,000 below contract price. Seller was saying they weren't budging. My buyer was not bringing $61,000.
Yeah.
What do we get it? 21K?
Yeah.
My buyer ended up bringing $21,000. So there was a deal in their book, but they had it overpriced $61,000. And thank goodness for the appraisals, because that kind of keeps the market in shape.
Yeah, it kind of keeps everything in check also, I would think. Oh, I was just going to ask Ty a question, but he's over there coughing again. What are you
Love
looking?
you too.
Yeah, I know you do. What do you got out there right now? Looking sellers, buyers. What kind of properties we got?
Yeah, so as I said earlier in the show, I have a potential house that's about to go on market. We're just trying to find the perfect buying portion for my seller. So we might have a 4x2, about 2,200 square foot in St. Cloud, totally renovated. It's a gorgeous home. We're just not going to put on the market yet until we can find a brand new builder for them because they're looking for a 7-figure, nice, redone, permanent home.
Right. So, and then on the other side, then you said they were looking also though in St. Cloud for that new build.
Exactly, looking for a new build. So I'm actually currently looking around right now in St. Cloud, talking to different builders, get some ETAs of when go live dates or breaking ground for model homes. So yeah, hopefully when I can find that out, I'll have a house on the market sooner or later.
What about the Davenport area? It's beautiful.
It's a hot market.
Davenport and also Point Siena is blowing up. They're around that area. It's blowing up.
Big time.
I listed a house in Davenport. It was about 3.5 miles from Disney. Within 24 hours, I had 37 offers, $40,000 above asking price.
Oh my
We're going to close in 2 weeks at $21,000 above asking.
Now tell me it's not from out of state.
No, they were in state.
It's a local.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
There
you
were
go.
tons of investor and out of the country offers.
Yeah,
even.
yeah. How do you guys feel about all the out of state, out of country investors? I mean, you Matt, you said you preferred to work with the person that's wanting to achieve the American dream of owning a home and watching that. So, how do the investors? How do they treat you?
This is still cheap real estate to these guys, especially from other countries and other states. So this is still cheap real estate. But I leave it up to my seller. Hey, I'm going to present you all offers. You decide what's best for you and your family. But I'm starting to see my sellers lean towards, that family. They want their family to raise their family in this home. They don't want to just sell it to
So there's emotions.
these companies and cash and all this stuff. Yeah, there is emotions tied to these sales now.
Really? Well, that's good. Hey, Ty, quick question here. Who does your laundry? I love the shirts you wear.
I do it myself. I'm a big boy.
You're a big boy. No, I was just messing with you. Seriously, Ty fan. He's the third time he's been here. I honestly don't. I have no more for you. No, I have a lot of
I'm
questions.
surprised
for you.
I have anything left.
Do you do anything industrial though? I mean, are you doing any?
No, I'm strictly residential. I haven't done anything on the side of commercials or industrial thing like that. Looking forward to it, but not yet. Not
yet.
within my scope. Not yet.
No. And Ben, what's in your scope? Are you just going to be doing residential or?
Yeah, residential.
No. So anybody here doing any of the industry stuff? Like
I'm working
business?
with it's a little bit of a commercial because it's 10 plus acres. But I have a lady on the coast, like New Smyrna to Palm Coast. She's looking between $650,000 and $1 million. She wants 10 plus acres with horse stables. So if any
That can be
listeners are
found.
out there, let me know.
There's a couple of rundown properties out there she should look at.
She'll buy it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen a
For a
few where
business
you
opportunity.
need to level everything,
Yeah.
but the acreage is there, and it was a horse farm. But there's a lot of that out there. People looking for the bigger properties now in the middle of nowhere. Am I interrupting you or?
No, I'm just getting comfortable.
Oh, okay. I thought he was taking a call during the show. Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna take a call here. Yeah.
And I also have, if anybody's listening, I have a 4-3 in Lake Mary, $475,000 with a pool and solar. That's in Lake Mary. And then coming soon to Orange City, the Volusia County market, I have a 4-2. It was built in 2020. We're going to be listing that at $400,000. So
Really? And is it that new nook that was just built up over there
Yep.
in Orange City?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
My relatives live over
it's
there.
Compass Landing. I
Yeah,
think it is.
yeah, she's right up. They're right up there. I think it's in Virginia or something.
I think that's a big up and coming market.
I wouldn't
cheap.
doubt it. It's real nice, and they've got a little bit of property line. They're not like jammed all over each other. So that is pretty much what's going on in the market. Ben, do you have anything? Anyone that you want to put in a house or sell a house from?
What was that lady looking for?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a buyer that's looking over in the Orange County and Volusia County area looking for a 3-2, right around 300. Again, my phone number is 614-563-2908. If anybody has anything that fits that criteria, give me a call.
Now, to be honest with you, do you think that's on the low end of what she's looking for? 3-2 and 300 ballpark?
Yeah, she was approved up to like 400,000, but she wanted to keep it at 300. Sure, if we find her something a little more that she falls in love with, we'll
I
find
would
a way
think
to
you're
make
going to
it
have to. I'm just saying the market's not dictating 300s right now for a 3-2 at all, unfortunately. Not anything that's not a fixer-upper.
I just locked down a 3-2 in Sanford for a client for $255,000.
What?
Whoa.
And it's not on celery.
Nope.
It's in an historic area?
Yeah.
Nice. Now that's nice.
$255,000.
Very sweet. Where could we get a hold of you guys for your listings and such, or just to be a part of your team? I mean, LPT Realty. Let's talk to Ben first. He gave his number out. I want to hear it again.
My number is 614-563-2908.
That's it, Ben Eicher. Yeah. Ty Fan.
Yeah, Ty Fan at TySalesFlorida.com. Call me or shoot me a text, 407-734-1103. Social media handle, Ty Fan Realtor.
I'm going to slide over to Andy Hall because he's the mortgage guy. We forgot about the lending dude, the one that gets all the offers and puts them in front of you and says, here, pick one.
Boom, boom, boom. So Andy Hall, Oceans Lending, 407-605-0327. One of the other things that we do at my brokerage is we don't work traditional bank hours. So 9 to 5, that's not the time when you're I mean, yes, you'll get a hold of me then, but
Texas
also
at
if you
midnight
call me
last
in the
night.
evening, I have 3 children under 3, and if
Oh,
we're
you're
eating
out.
dinner, and like at the end of the day, your home purchase is the most important thing that you're doing, I'm going to pick the phone up. Yeah. So sometimes it's my wife. She's the most tolerant person I've ever met because I always answer my phone. Doesn't matter what we're doing. She's like, will you stop? It's Sunday at 2 o'clock. We're trying to, I'm like, all right, well, I've got this client. They're trying to buy the home. They're getting ready. So, but at the end of the day, when you go through a wholesaler like myself, our customer service is what we have to really focus on because your goal is our goal. And so I'm not going to work banker's hours. But
Fair enough. That's Andy Hall. He's working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
And a quarter. You forgot that.
Oh, did I forget the
365
quarter?
and a quarter.
Oh, and a quarter. Is it that year? All right, fair enough. So, Matt, you're the last one here. What's
The best for last.
Yeah,
No.
baby.
Matt Buckley with the Buckley team. My direct cell, 407-617-0438. Or visit our team site, betterwithbuckley.com.
So you've heard what they're looking for. You heard what they have. You heard what their clients are looking for. You have got a pretty good idea of what's going on here in Central Florida in the real estate market. What about 24 days worth of inventory? And there's no time like now to buy or sell. You keep putting it off, it's just going to get away from you.
Best deal was yesterday.
Yeah, and the better deal is coming up right now. Probably the next show after us. It's Real Estate All-Stars Radio. We are powered by LPT Realty, and I am Melissa Fox. Guys, it's been fun. Say bye-bye.
Melissa, thank you.
See you later.
Thank you so much.
Notice the way everyone